Assalamualaikum girls. How are you? Share screen. Uh-oh. Not this one. Today, the topic of our presentation is not presentation. Today we are going to start new chapter, which is solving a biological problem. And am I recording? Yes. Okay. In this chapter, we are going to discuss that how scientists move on to solve some problem, whatever the problem we are facing in terms of biology. Mostly whenever we say that to solve a biological problem, the one thing which comes in our mind is diseases, how, or especially the diseases relevant to human, although the diseases relevant to animals and the diseases relevant to plants are also discussed in the same field. But being a human, the first and foremost thing comes into our mind is human problems. So in biology, we have to solve these problems in a systematic way. Science is a systemized knowledge, means you cannot just jump on the conclusion that this is the problem of this is actually causing the problem, and if we are going to kill it, it's going to solve our problem, or if we are going to change it, it's going to solve our problem. Biology or science, any field of science, is not dealt with whims and our speculations. It's a systematic knowledge. We have to move on step by step. We have to collect observations and do experiment on our problem, whatever the statement we have made. We do experiment on it and then experimentally verify it or reject it. Either we say yes, this is the cause of our problem, or we say this is not the cause of our problem, and then we move on to solve that problem. We do not jump to conclusion. It's a experimental study. Okay. uh, uh, in the first lecture of introduction to biology, I told you in science we have to describe experimentally. We have to solve. We whatever our statement is, we have to prove it experimentally. Otherwise, it cannot be called as science. So is the case in biology. We have to solve a biological problem. We cannot jump to conclusions, right? So, what is a biological method? The scientific method in which biological problems are solved is called a biological method. Any scientific approach in which we try to solve our biological problems is called as biological method of study, or it is what a biological method is. We have to follow some sequence of some things in a sequence. This method consists of certain steps which a biologist adopts in order to solve a biological problem. There are certain steps that we have to follow. Otherwise, it will not be called as a biological method of study. And those steps will be discussed in this chapter one by one. If I introduce you about these these biological methods and those steps, I will do it in this slide. And then we will move on to study them one by one. Before that, I have to create a background to tell you what is a biological method and what scientists have been doing in the past. Biological method has played an important part in scientific research for almost 500 years. The way we are solving these problems, the way biologists are moving forward, it's in scientific research, it's an important part to follow this method of study. From Galileo's experiment to current research, the biological method has contributed to the advancements in medicine, ecology, technology. from the first experiment, Galileo, the previous one, which is, I think, I don't know, I don't remember the year, but Galileo's experiment to today's method of research, we scientists are following this method of study, how to solve a biological problem, and it has contributed a lot in medicine, ecology, technology, not only these three fields, obviously, in all the fields of biology. And apart from that, I feel this method is also adopted in physics, chemistry, maths, and everywhere. You have to follow certain steps to solve a biological problem, right? Now, the thing is that man has always been a biologist. It's not like we are biologists in the 18th century or 19th century, or maybe in the at the end of 17th century. Why I'm saying this though? Because whatever you're studying in physics, chemistry, the scientific investigation in physics, chemistry, and maths, you will think at one point that yeah, everything is happening in 18th century and 19th century. People have become so genius in that century. Actually, the proper method of scientific investigation has started at that time. ठीक है, जैसे कहते हैं ना साइंटिफिक मेथड को फॉलो किया गया एंड पब्लिश किए गए रिजल्ट्स एंड उस तो वो research became the speed of research was quite high at that time. But before that, man was also a biologist and scientist and chemist, especially in I was teaching to M2 class regarding enzymes. So I came to discuss the chemical reaction. So I told them the first ever chemical reaction was the one when man was rubbing two stones. जो आग जलाने के लिए, to lit a fire, man rubbed the two stones in the cave era. वो two stones जब rub किए और एक आग जली, man haven't called it a reaction, but now we know that that was also a chemical reaction, and it might be it was the first ever reaction which man initiated, first ever chemical reaction, rubbing of two stones. So is the case with biology. Man has always been a biologist. Kyun? Because from the day first, man is trying to find out edible plants and discriminate with non-edible plants. मतलब कौन से पौधे हम खा सकते हैं, which one are the one which we can easily digest, and which are those plants which we cannot easily digest, and what are those animals which I mean they are delicious and we can eat them in one ways. In what ways? Should we fry them? Should we eat them raw? Or things like that. I'm sure must be eating raw animals too in the beginning. But we are talking about being a biologist, especially. Man has started discriminating what things he can eat or what things he can't. So that was the day he was acting as a biologist and trying to be a good hunter. For that, they studied habitat of animals. When they were trying in hard to capture a tiger or to capture a deer or to capture any edible animal, they were studying their habitat. Habitat means it's a place where an animal lives, or it's a place where an organisms live, whether it's a plant or animal. तो टू स्टडी जैसे वो आप लोग देखते हो ना BBC Earth or National Geographic or such kind of channels where they keep on the camera on goose or keep on the camera on the lion, how the lion is hunting and how it is moving to its den, कैसे रहता है, कैसे खाता है, कैसे पीता है. This is what study is. That zoologists are studying the animals and botanists are studying plants. So in the quest to be a good hunter, man was also studying these animals, their habitat, their mode of living. How do they fight? How do they reproduce? How do they hunt? All these things were considered as a knowledge for biology. Okay? Man was also trying to prevent themselves from diseases like They were searching different cures. From the beginning, man has been searching herbs as a medicine. Especially हमने सुना हुआ है Chinese were very good at finding cure through herbs. Plus we have seen Turkish drama. You might have seen Ertugrul these days. तो उसमें भी ladies are going to pick herbs. So this is very traditional method of science where herbs are used as medicine and different plants are used as a cure to treat different ailments. Ailments means diseases. Okay. And nowadays, अब मैं थोड़ा सा point से हट रही हूँ. Nowadays, after we have created so many artificial medicine, man is reverting back to these herbs and all these natural medicines. Nowadays, we prefer natural medicines over the globe. और जब नेचुरल मेडिसिन लेने जाते हैं तो दे आर मोर एक्सपेंसिव देन आर्टिफिशियल वन. जितनी भी नेचुरल जो से एक तो नेचुरल सप्लीमेंट्स भी दे आर वेरी एक्सपेंसिव एंड दे आर गुड, क्योंकि नेचुरल थिंग आवर बॉडी कैन एब्जॉर्ब इट more easily as compared to artificial things. Our body doesn't pick it properly. तो ये थोड़ा मैंने एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज दे दिया कि natural medicine is preferable, deviating from the main topic. So coming back to the point which I was saying, man is finding the cure of diseases. So when man is finding cure of diseases, he's acting as a biologist, right? So the next thing is finding ways to keep themselves away from dangerous animals. So my daughter is smiling at me. Oh my love. आवाज आई होगी ना? शोनी, चलो मामा पढ़ा रही है. So finding ways to keep themselves away from dangerous animals. This is also one thing man has always been doing. Agar, for example, man was living in the era of dinosaurs, although we now know that many of them are herbivores, तो वो इतने dangerous नहीं थे. लेकिन any predator which was dangerous. So from the beginning, man is trying ways to prevent itself from these animals. तो वो biology नहीं है, लेकिन finding ways to prevent themselves from those animals, they know, they study those animals. They look at their behavior. They find out when they go for eating and hunting. तो ये क्या है? We are studying animals. This is biology. But killing animal is not biology. But man has always been doing that. You know that. We always protect ourselves from dangerous things. Whether it's if I talk about today's days, अगर हम कोरोना की बात करें तो कोरोना is also not a total living organism but at a boundary of a living organism. तो we cannot do that कि हमने जी कोरोना को फ्लरिश होने देना है और खुद को नहीं 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 कोरोना को मारना नहीं है, हमने बायोलॉजी को प्रोटेक्ट करना है. No, corona is a virus which is at the boundary of living and non-living. We have to prevent ourselves from it. It's a normal human instinct that something which is dangerous for ourselves, we keep ourselves away from it. लेकिन जो ऐसे snakes वगैरह और ये इनसे we have found different ways to protect ourselves without even killing them sometimes. Okay, but I'm not saying that you are not going to kill it when your life is on threat. Okay, leaving this thing aside, man has always been a biologist. Okay, so as man has always been a biologist, so man was trying to find out different solutions, but not necessarily we were following all these methods, all these sequential steps. But later on in science, we have created certain steps to solve a biological problem. Whatever the problem we are facing, we faced in the past, humans have created a way to solve these problems. And those steps are these 7 in general. इसके बाद भी एक 1 or 2 steps हैं, which we will discuss later on. But first of all, man recognizes what is a biological problem. Problem है क्या? Then he keeps on collecting observations. Then he formulates a hypothesis, which I will tell you what is hypothesis and how we formulate it. Then man goes for deductions, and then we move on to experimentation, and after experimentally verifying whether our statement is correct or not, then we make results. We summarize our results into different graphs and charts and pie charts and different techniques, and then we report those results into journals or into books or into different kind of things, right? So these are the brief steps. These are the steps which we follow, and I told you briefly. And without these steps, we will not call a scientific study as a scientific study. Okay? This is now the authentic way of investigating any problem. Now, the first and foremost thing is recognition of a biological problem. What the problem is, we have to find out first. Especially these days, जैसे आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा अचानक लोग बीमार हो रहे हैं in this pandemic, और बुखार हो रहा हो और कोई कभी कभी जो है सख्त गले में दर्द है, तो the first and foremost thing was to recognize a problem. Problem है क्या, हो क्या रहा है हमारे सराउंडिंग्स में, ठीक है? हमें उसको चेक करना पड़ता है, ठीक है, कि how quickly the disease is spreading or what is happening in our surroundings. So in biological method, whenever we encounter a problem, we have to follow these methods of which I have discussed before. We have to follow these steps to solve a biological problem. Now the question is, what a biological problem is. A biological problem is a question related to living organisms that is either asked by someone or comes in biologist's mind by himself. Any question related to living organism which commonly people are asking, or it comes into biologist's mind, and then that biologist goes to solve it by following all those methods, all those steps which I told you earlier. Now, in today's case, tell me, it is coming, this problem which we are facing in case of COVID-19, coronavirus 19. This question is in everyone's mind, that how we are going to cure it. This is a problem we are facing, which is becoming threatening day by day. Today, it is increasing even in Pakistan. So this problem is now in everyone's mind. And who is going to solve it? A biologist. And people are searching in their laboratories, working on a human and working on animals first. Okay? Up till now, they are not able to cure this problem. Let's discuss this pandemic side by side with all these steps which I am discussing. Why I'm discussing coronavirus? Because it is very relatable, so you will be able to understand how scientists solve the problem. Otherwise, in previous years, I used to give a very easy example of rainfall, कि how पहले मैं ये देती थी, मतलब शुरू में बहुत easy example कि बारिश कैसे होती है. So then I used to tell them कि भाई what comes in the people mind, in people of the person, human of past, the caveman, उसके दिमाग में क्या आए कि बारिश कैसे आ रही है, things like that, ताकि बच्चों को समझ में आ जाए. But today, now we are facing this severe problem, and it is so relatable that you will understand what a biological problem is and how a scientist solves it. So the first and foremost thing is to recognize a biological problem. And the next step is, after recognizing a biological problem, is to go on and collect observations. Now, what biologists do? Biologist recalls his or her previous observations. In this pandemic, हमारी previous observations क्या हैं? हमारी new observations तो मैं discuss करती हूँ ना. It's a flu, okay? It's a novel flu, COVID-19. पहले भी तो flu हो रहा था. This flu is occurring because of coronavirus, a novel coronavirus. But there is a whole family of coronavirus, okay? पूरी family है जो हमें flu होते हैं और दिन ब दिन flu is becoming worse. तो biologists ने or हम normal layman also have collected observations that what flu causes, what it is, how it is becoming severe and is not treatable until unless we just use natural remedies or some preventive methods. There is no, we shouldn't use antibiotics, and there is no antiviral drug for them. So what is that? आपने इस एग्जाम्पल के साथ अंडरस्टैंड भी करना है व्हाट इज ऑब्जर्वेशन, व्हाट इज हाइपोथेसिस, व्हाट इज अ डिडक्शन. ओके, सिर्फ एग्जाम्पल नहीं देनी, वी हैव टू जब भी एग्जाम में डिफाइन व्हाट दिस मेथड इज, देन फिर हम एग्जाम्पल देते हैं. लिखते वक्त हम फॉरन एग्जाम्पल नहीं देंगे. ओके, तो पहला स्टेप ये है कि बायोलॉजिस्ट रिकॉल देयर ऑब्जर्वेशंस. इन आवर केस हमारी ऑब्जर्वेशन है कि बुखार होता है, ये होता है और ये होता है, और इवन वी हैव current observation as well. So let's talk about it in next point. Biologists then collects observations with 5 senses: the sense of vision, sense of hearing, sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of touch. पहले तो हम इससे कलेक्ट करते हैं ना ऑब्जर्वेशंस, कि हमने क्या देखा, क्या महसूस किया, बुखार हो रहा है, शोर थ्रोट हो रहा है, जिस्म में दर्द इज अ सेंस ऑफ फीलिंग ना, पेन है, सिवियर पेन है, व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, वी कलेक्ट दोस ऑब्जर्वेशंस. ओके, अच्छा मैं आई एम सॉरी बुक में नहीं है ये पॉइंट दैट वी कलेक्ट ऑब्जर्वेशंस फ्रॉम डिफरेंट इक्विपमेंट्स टू, तो मैं ऐड करना भूल गई, ये मैं पढ़ाती होती हूँ, तो आप खुद ऐड कर लीजिए कि we also collect observations with different equipment. Like in case of biology, microscope is a very important equipment. We collect so many things from microscopic observations, चाहे वो इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप हो या नॉर्मल इलेक्ट्रिक माइक्रोस्कोप, नॉर्मल माइक्रोस्कोप हो, लाइट माइक्रोस्कोप, सॉरी माइक्रोस्कोप हो गया. इन केस ऑफ क्या कहते हैं उसको, जो स्टार्स को स्टडी करते हैं एस्ट्रोनॉमी में, they use telescope. Different field of sciences use different things like telescope or electron microscope or microscope or X-ray machines or MRI or any different equipment which is used to collect observations, is basically collecting it. Okay, we are using those equipments to collect observations. Not only these 5 senses, I'm sorry, खाली 5 senses से नहीं हो रहा, we are collecting by different equipment. And what are these observations? These observations are of 2 types: qualitative observations and quantitative observations. The word qualitative is coming from quality, and the word quantitative is coming from quantity. अच्छा, qualitative को जरा मैं easy version में पढ़ा दूँ. Quality like good, bad, beautiful, ugly, disgusting, worse, or very kind, empathy, humorous. These are qualities, right? Can you measure them? Can you measure the beauty? Oh, हम ज़्यादा ज़्यादा ये कह सकते हैं, very beautiful, so good, delicious. अगर किसी dish को कहना है, delicious, scrumptious, yummylicious. But again, it is not a quantity, it's a quality. कि भाई delicious है, scrumptious, yummylicious. But you cannot give it points to quality. Okay, qualitative observations क्या है? Oh, it's good, it's bad, it's ugly, it's tall, things like that. What is quantitative observations? जैसे height का कहेंगे, he is 6 feet tall, so we know he's 6 feet 2 inches tall, and she is 5 feet 5 inches tall. Or जब हम कहेंगे किसी को she is obese, but how much obese? Or she is fat. आप चबी को fat कह रहे हैं, obese कह रहे हैं, या real obese? But we clearly get the picture when we say that the girl is 5 feet 2 inches tall and her weight is 80 kg. Then we quickly realize, oh my god, weight is too much. But if you say that this girl, the other girl of 5 feet 2 inches tall, is like 55 kg or 50 kg, 55 or 60 kg, then we will say yes, it's a healthy weight. The quantity is giving us clear picture. या अगर हम कंपेयर करें हाइट को that one of my son is of the same age, is 5 feet 5 inches tall, and the other is 6 feet tall. What is happening? We can clearly get the picture के same age के हैं, तो height का तो difference है, क्यों है? What I'm trying to say is quality does not clearly depict the picture, while quantity in science clearly tells you what is happening. Even beauty को भी अगर आप scale पे divide कर लें, beauty को तो आप it's very difficult to categorize it into quantity. So in science, quantitative observations are considered more accurate than qualitative ones. Quantitative observations are more accurate because the former are invariable and measurable and can be recorded in terms of numbers. Now, girls, why I'm teaching this sentence? Because in book it is mentioned as former are invariable and measurable and can be recorded in terms of numbers. Now, girls, as English is not our first language, so some of the girls feel problem on the use of word former. इसलिए मैं बता रही हूँ कि इंग्लिश में दिस टर्म फॉर्मर और लेटर इज यूज्ड. तो जब यहाँ पर फॉर्मर कहा जा रहा है, ऊपर वाले सेंटेंस में वी आर कंपैरिजन टू थिंग्स. क्वांटिटेटिव ऑब्जर्वेशंस को क्वालिटेटिव के साथ कंपेयर किया जा रहा है और ये कहा जा रहा है कि क्वांटिटेटिव ऑब्जर्वेशंस आर मोर एक्यूरेट. फिर ये कहा जा रहा है क्यों? देन दे सेड बिकॉज द फॉर्मर मीन्स पहले वाला. इन दो चीजों में जो क्वांटिटेटिव ऑब्जर्वेशन डिस्कस हुई है और क्वालिटेटिव डिस्कस हुई है, फॉर्मर का मतलब है पहले वाला इनवेरिएबल है और मेजरेबल है और हम उसको नंबर्स में रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं. अच्छा, अगर यहाँ पर होता बिकॉज द लेटर आर इनवेरिएबल एंड मेजरेबल एंड, तो इसका मतलब था वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट क्वालिटेटिव ऑब्जर्वेशन. काइंडली गर्ल्स टेल मी, हैव यू पिक दिस पॉइंट? मुझे प्लीज व्हाट्सएप पे बताइएगा दैट हैव यू पिक दिस पॉइंट. आई रिपीट, if I say former, it means I'm talking about quantitative observation. इन दोनों के कंपैरिजन में जब भी इंग्लिश में कंपेयर किया जाता है तो नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस में, ज्वाइनिंग सेंटेंस में फॉर्मर और लेटर का वर्ड यूज हो सकता है. अगर मैं ये कहती हूँ लेटर बिकॉज द लेटर आर इन वेरिएबल एंड वेरिएबल, तो लेटर का मतलब है आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द अदर वन, बाद क्या, लेटर वाला, क्वालिटेटिव वंस. सही. तो यहाँ पर चूंकि फॉर्मर हुआ है तो फॉर्मर का मतलब है we are talking about quantitative observations. So coming back to the main point, that quantitative observations are invariable and measurable. Invariable means they do not vary and measurable means we can measure it. जैसे मैंने weight कहा, अगर मैं एक लड़की का weight कह रही हूँ कि 65 kg है and she is towards obesity, तो whatever, तो 65 kg is invariable. आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि ओह नो 60 था, ओह नो 61 था. You know that we can measure, there are certain equipments जहाँ पे हम measure कर सकते हैं weight को और height को भी measure कर सकते हैं by different scales. तो quantitative observations cannot vary, it can be measured, it can be recorded in terms of numbers like 65 kg or 6 feet 2 inches tall. जबकि क्वालिटेटिव ऑब्जर्वेशन में हम कहते हैं कि बहुत मोटी है, बहुत लंबी है, बहुत प्यारी है, तो वो नंबर्स में तो नहीं रिकॉर्ड कर सकते. बहुत प्यारी का स्केल वेरिएबल है, बहुत प्यारी हर बंदे के पर्सपेक्टिव में डिफरेंट है, बहुत मोटी हर बंदे के पर्सपेक्टिव में डिफरेंट है, बहुत पतली का पर्सपेक्टिव डिफरेंट है. इट्स वेरिएबल टर्म. ओके, So what we learned is that quantitative observations are more accurate. हम in science में quantitative observations को prefer करते हैं. Let me give you another examples. These two examples as mentioned in the book. I'm talking about this table. अगर मैं कहती हूँ कि the freezing point of water is colder than boiling point, आपको कुछ समझ में आती है? Clear picture आती है? Look at the other one. The freezing point of water is 0 centigrade and the boiling point is 100 centigrade. In दोनों में who is giving the clear picture? Obviously the quantitative one. Quantitative observation is clearly telling you the difference of 100 centigrade. The freezing point is 0 while the boiling point of water is 100 centigrade. A clear cut depiction जबकि qualitative observation में clear cut depiction नहीं है. Look at the second example. A liter of water is heavier than a liter of ethanol. Ethanol is a chemical which is a alcohol, one of the alcohol. तो यहाँ पे बात हो रही है कि 1 लीटर पानी का लो और 1 लीटर एथेनॉल का लो, तो पानी का लीटर भारी है. कितना भारी नहीं पता चल रहा, right? While in second observation, which is quantitative one, we say a liter of water weighs 1000 grams and a liter of ethanol weighs 789 grams. Now you see, the picture is clearly depicted in second case. The difference is this much. Water is same volume of water is weighing 1000 grams, while the same amount of water, liter of water, ethanol is weighing 789 grams. So weight is different in these two cases, but the clear depiction is coming from quantitative observations. So we can say that quantitative observations are more accurate than qualitative ones because they gave us an invariable amount and measurable amount, which we can represent in numbers. Kindly do tell me that you understood the concept of former and later in English. If it becomes difficult for you, you can break the sentence into 2 parts. आप इस sentence को 2 parts में divide कर सकते हैं. Like quantitative observations are more accurate than qualitative ones because करने के बजाय आप कहें next sentence में कहें कि quantitative observations are invariable and measurable and can be recorded in terms of numbers. If the concept of former and later is confusing you, break the sentence into 2 parts, okay? Because I've seen girls जो कि गलत कर देती हैं the whole sentence or they depict it in a very bad way. Kindly, when you depict something, move on point by point. Learn in a conceptual way, but learn step by step. Especially follow these methods of step-by-step points which I'm making to learn these concepts one by one. Now the whole scientific method of investigation is quite long topic. Divide it into different parts, right? So I will tell you how you're going to understand or how you're going to depict this method of study, okay? Later on in my class. Maybe I'll give you some audio message regarding learning process. Okay, Allah Hafiz for now. Stop share. Allah Hafiz, girls.